Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's Team Eagles Monday evening Zoom. We are thrilled to see you here this evening, especially tonight because, yes, it's a very special time. As you know, we just come back from an incredible week out in California, and many of you were out there with us. We are Mick and Jenny Daly, National Marketing Directors in your support line, and we are now home in the beautiful mountains of Colorado. And yes, they are beautiful mountains, but I tell you, the weather isn't quite as gorgeous here as it has been over the last week. Well, you're going to hear a lot about the conference, which we're now calling Juice Plus Live. Many of you who are on this call were there, and we're looking forward to you sharing some of your insights, some of the highlights that you experienced over the last few days, and then many of you who will either be on this call or watching the recording will learn to hear a lot about the wonderful things that you missed. So before we get on to that, as always, it's my pleasure to welcome a bunch of new people to Team Eagles just in the last month. So since April the 1st, a very warm welcome to Megan Hafferkamp in Texas, sponsored by Ryan Schaefer. Sandra Hopper in Arizona, sponsored by Darlene Woodcock. Sylvia Valdespino in Texas, sponsored by Kathy Venable. Greg Peterson in Arizona, sponsored by Nikki Golly. Lacey Coleman-Nitzel in Colorado, sponsored by Amanda Schneider. Janelle Welfie in Delaware, sponsored by Anita Martin. Barbara Forsyth in California, sponsored by Grace Sota. Amber Reed in Arizona, sponsored by Nicole Helmstetler. Eric Edwards in Texas, sponsored by Karen Bernardo. Sherry Reepsum in Delaware, sponsored by Linda Miller. Kyla Morgan in Texas, sponsored by Mariana Krenwelge. Sarah Hill in California, sponsored by Mandy Dickey. And last but not least, Dorothy Wall in Arizona, sponsored by Sarah Wall. So welcome, everybody. We are thrilled to have you join Team Eagles, and we look forward to meeting you sometime in the near future. Certainly, who is it? Lacey, who is here in Colorado. So maybe we can make that happen sometime soon. So anyway, moving right along to HLP promotions. Now, you know, this is for people getting started on their Juice Plus journey. Typically, it's U+2. Maybe getting started on the trio yourself and sharing 2 trios with others, or for some people on this call, it may even have been Tower Gardens too. But anyway, we have 5 new HLP promotions so far this month, and that is Deborah Stones in Mississippi, sponsored by Alice Cromwell, and also Marianne Gregg in Texas, sponsored by Alice too. Anita Martin in Delaware, sponsored by Becky Bright. Jerry Ribson in Delaware, sponsored by Linda Miller, and Sue Parker is on Zoom tonight in Colorado here, sponsored by myself. And Sue is going gangbusters with business. So maybe we'll hear a little bit from her in a little while. But also we have more promotions, brand new sales coordinator. Congratulations, Alice Cromwell. This is the top commission level in our company, the 22%. Alice is in Texas, sponsored by Lisa Kerr. And then I'm sure the word has gone out to everybody by now. We are so proud of Amanda Schneider in Arizona, sponsored by Chris Seiler, who has just completed her fast track to senior sales coordinator. And that's a huge milestone. It comes with many benefits from corporate, including a $1,000 bonus. So I know Amanda's very excited. She so deserves the recognition. She's worked incredibly hard over the last few months. And finally, she has achieved her goal, and we were able to celebrate with her in Anaheim last week. I think that's it from me at the moment, Mick, so let me hand it over to you.
Okay, thanks, Jenny. So we did some of that recognition while we were in Anaheim, and we did a whole bunch more. And I want those of you who were there to do most of the talking tonight. So I'm just going to, first of all, show you what some of our team are up to right now. I hope you can see this. Can you see this screen?
Yep.
Talk to me, somebody. Good, thank you. And I don't know why I'm on the wrong page, but I will get there in a second. Bear with me. So, some of those who are not on are Melinda Cronwelge. These were taken just moments ago. And there's Melinda and her sister Jennifer. They are still out there in California. They got this so right. We should all have stayed out there longer, folks. I'm just saying. And then Andrea Ali was out there, and Andrea's not on, but I've got to highlight this. In fact, you know what? No, I'll read this if we have time at the end. I'll come back to this. But all of us struggle. You can take a quick look at this while I'm talking. All of us struggle to really communicate, really express the full impact of events like this one that we just enjoyed out in Anaheim. And I've got to say, Andrea put pen to paper, put fingers to keyboard, did an outstanding job. So if we don't have time before 7:30 to go back and look at this, please make sure you go to our Juice Plus Team Eagles Facebook group and read that entire post by Andrea, and take it that every single one of us out there would just simply say, amen, amen, absolutely, you nailed it, Andrea. So we've got Alison on now too, and we've got at least one person on the phone who has joined us by phone, so we know who you are.
This is Jennifer.
Me.
Jennifer and Melinda?
Yes, Jennifer.
Hey, is Melinda with you?
No, I'm here by myself.
Really? Well, we just showed a picture of you and Melinda. So have you stopped your hiking?
It's a different Jennifer.
Jennifer Wright in Texas.
Jennifer Wright, not Jennifer Cronwelge. Okay. We've got way too many Jennifers and Lisas. All right. Alison McCauley, you're on but muted, and I'm going to want to hear from you, girl. I'm just giving you a heads up, okay? All right, who wants to go first? Highlights, takeaways, and most importantly, not just that this was great, not just that this was mind-boggling, but how has it changed you, and what's it going to do? What are you going to do with what you've brought back from Anaheim with you? So, volunteers. And of course, you lucky people who weren't there, you don't have to say a word, Donna. or you, Sue. Paula, thank you for being the volunteer to be first.
I'll volunteer and say, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The part that absolutely blew me away was Kurt Beavers. I hate to start with the last first.
That's good.
But, I mean, he was amazing. He was the best close I have ever heard. He moved my heart. He moved my head to my heart. He did it. He was amazing. And that visual he gave us of the thermometer versus the thermostat, that is the most powerful thing I have ever experienced at a conference. I came home today. I made no excuses. I've got all 6 of my Omega orders in. I have, I made my calls to my distributors that are eligible for it to make sure they knew they were. And I mean, and that on top of all the stuff that I've been gone for, 5 or 6 days, so I had to catch up on, and it was chaotic, but I did it. That thermostat versus the thermometer, and he just said, when the conference is over, everybody's really stoked up, and the thermostat, the thermometer, wait. Which is a long skinny thing?
Thermometer.
Thermometer. The thermometer, it tells you you're hot, you're really in, but you go home and you just kind of taper off. But the thermostat cranks you up and you're hot and you stay hot. So I've got those visuals in my mind and they're really working. And
It's a powerful visual. And I guess the other way to put it is you have control over your thermostat.
Mhm.
You do. You can control just how hot or cold you are. And you've got yours turned way up, Paula.
Yes, sir, I do.
So just to clarify on the 6 Omega orders that you've placed, I'm sure some people are thinking, I thought we could only place 5, but of course you can place your own as a preferred customer order. And if you're a sales coordinator or above, you can place 5 orders for customers. But it is very much a soft launch, and we don't expect the Omega to be readily available to everyone until probably, look at that, October this year.
Can a VF order it?
No,
I didn't think so.
no, sorry.
So that's kind of weird because I went to order one this afternoon for one of my neighbors, and he's a distributor, but he's never done anything. And when I put his name in, they kicked him out. And it said, I can't order for a distributor.
Really?
You can order for him as a customer. You just simply can't order.
No, I can't. Not under his name. It would not let me.
Really?
It blocked me. It said you can't order for he's in the thing. I can't order. So
I ordered one
but they don't. There's something wrong there, Paula, because they don't identify distributors by name. They can't.
Were you trying to put it under himself, Paula?
no, I was doing it under my order. I was in mine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later or tomorrow, because the computer isn't that smart that it can identify that he's a distributor unless they had his FIN or perhaps.
No, I don't even know his FIN. I'd have to look it up.
But no, that shouldn't happen. You, as Jenny said, you can't order it on his FIN, under his FIN, but you should be able to order it for him as a customer. So we'll get that fixed tomorrow. So anyone want to talk about the Omega? Oh, actually, Anna, can you unmute yourself? Because Anna was there physically, but I'll say this so you can save your voice, Anna, but Anna completed her finals as to become a doctor of chiropractic, on Thursday. And then she was physically there, but she crashed. And so she didn't attend any part of the conference. We're so sorry, Anna, but.
Oh, she did.
Friday.
She was there.
I got Friday.
Oh, you did get Friday?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. You did get Friday. I misunderstood. But you missed all of Saturday except that Sandy FaceTimed or live videoed Kurt's talk at the end. So good on you, Sandy. That was really inventive of you. Anna, why don't you add a little something to what Paula said about Kurt? Did he make sense to you?
Well, I'll be honest, I don't remember much. I was crashed on the couch. What I remember most is the research. I am so excited about 37 and 38, the research papers that have come out. Because, I mean, with my background, I get it. I understand. I'm thinking, what a difference this is going to make for my patients. And anybody who I can get on it. I have one customer with RA who's excited to get started with it because she has a research background too, and she gets it. So I am really excited about the new research that's come out.
So you're mentioning the research. You're mentioning studies 36 and 37, I think.
No, I thought it was 37 and 38. I could be not wrong. Sorry.
I think it's 36 and 37.
Okay.
But I do want to bring those up because this is one of them, right?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was awesome.
This one is mind-boggling. If you haven't seen the video yet, then again, just go and check out the video by Dr. Manfred Lamprecht.
I mean, when a researcher gets excited, that is something.
It should get us excited. We don't need to understand it fully, but if I remember rightly, what he said, bottom line, in that study, after just 8 weeks, there were other numbers there too, but 1,600 genes
Right.
that are involved in inflammation and DNA repair were altered. Which
Positively.
means
The changes in gene expression.
gene
I
expression,
mean,
they were either switched off when they were on, or they were switched down when they were up. Because Manfred uses up and down instead of on and off, which I thought was interesting. How significant is that, Anna?
well, I mean, if you can get enough of those gene expressions to be normalized, you can literally change the track of cancer, because what cancer is when your genes go astray and they go awry and they go off a path on their own. And so if you can start to normalize that and do what the body's supposed to do, we can see a huge reduction in the cancer. But it's just really, it's going to be case to case and person to person, of course. But that is so exciting.
And you know, knowing our company as I do, we're probably way too conservative to ever have a study performed that confirms that we can turn off cancer genes, because we're not going to do studies where people can say, oh, so you're claiming you can absolutely prevent cancer?
Right.
We're not going to go there. That's why these are genes to do with inflammation and DNA repair.
Yeah, and between that and the antioxidants, work that we're seeing with what Juice Plus can do, those two working hand in hand are just going to be synergistic and amazing.
Well said. Thanks, Anna. Well, I'm glad you got that.
Dr. Guest would be proud of you, Anna.
Oh, thank you.
Dr. Guest will be proud
Does
of
that
you.
mean he'll bump my grade?
Oh.
Which class?
So Anna is a chiropractic student still, almost doctor, at the same college that Dr. Jim Guest has taught at for all these many years. Sandy, how many is it?
20, I guess 23, almost 23 years, I guess. He'll retire this August, but
This August, after many years of service.
yeah.
Okay. So anything else want to
I'll-
comment on research or anything else?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the new videos that simplify the research, and the fact that we're going back to emphasizing the research. I think we've made a what, we come full circle again. But I like the fact that it's the research. You know, testimonials are testimonials, and they're not the same for everybody, but everybody takes them as gospel. It's just, you know, it's anecdotal stuff, and the research is what it is.
Who wants to talk about Dr. Phillips? Because he demonstrated the new approach to testimonials and research combined on Thursday night. Anyone?
It was, I mean, that was super exciting the way he did it. You know, he validated stories, but with the research. He didn't just throw out, you know, the story, which I think has been happening a lot with a lot of people, but we need to combine it. We need to link it up. That's where the proof is.
So there's some of us like Anna and Sandy and me who love the research, and then there are a lot of others who don't love the research. And all this goes to prove is that there's room for all of us, and we can use research or not use research to help us succeed in this business.
But the videos, I think, are going to be real helpful, because they're down to earth. They're down to earth.
So they promised us a whole series of videos on the same lines as Dr. Lamprecht's today. And does it work having a man with a heavy German accent?
It could have been British too. It would have worked.
Did someone want to say something just now? Rachel?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that what impressed me on the research was the impact score, because we already knew, like at the last conference, that we were approaching, like we were at 100, which was like absolutely astronomical. And just between these two conferences, we're now approaching 110. And, you know, he likened most companies having 0 to 5. And 110 puts us just so far ahead of any, you know, competition. It just incredibly impressive how other researchers like our research.
My understanding, and Sandy and Anna, you can confirm this maybe, is that that impact score is a measure of the cumulative validity of the entire body of research on Juice Plus. Is that it?
Yeah, I think
it's
so.
kind of what other researchers lean on our research. So they validate our research and that they use it for their own.
So they refer back to our
Right?
research in their publications of their own research.
They
That's my
cite
understanding.
it.
Which is true third-party validation.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. You're right.
That's awesome. Okay, who wants to talk about Omega? Paula, you're just a little bit ahead of Laurie, but I think Laurie's going to catch you very quickly in filling out the allocation of Omega orders. What's the response been to the people you've shown it to? You're muted, Paula. I'll let you brief if I can.
They're all just Juice Plus customers, and I say, do you want it? And it's like, yeah. And they don't ask about research, and I mean, honestly, if I had the credit cards, if I'd been smart, I would have got the credit card earlier, when they said that, because when I called them all today, I said, hey, this stuff's out. I can ship it to you if you're ready. And it's like, well, yeah, I want it. I told you I wanted it. And it was, and so I'm not selling it. It's like giving itself away. It's just, people want it. And I really limited it to 5 that I spoke to because I knew I didn't have more to sell, and they took it. So, I mean, if they're on the Juice Plus capsules, they will be very excited about it. And that's going to be how I roll it out to people. The longer they've been on the capsules, those are going to be the ones that I ask first. I think that's the fairest way to do it.
Great idea. Yeah, I mean, that's giving preference to your best customers.
Mm-hmm.
Good point.
I mean, not only that, we also want to make sure at this stage, particularly, that we are selling it to customers who are going to continue using it, like as in they can develop a habit of taking it. Otherwise, we don't really want to have all 5 of our customers quit after 4 months. Otherwise, we'll have none left going into the October launch. And we know that our good Juice Plus customers are in a good habit of taking their capsules every day.
Good point.
They asked, do I know of any results with it? 2 people asked. And I said, well, Rachel's heels aren't cracking anymore.
How bad was it, Rachel?
It's dramatic. Yeah, I mean, it was quick and it was dramatic and, permanent if 6 weeks can be permanent.
I was speaking to a new NMD at conference, and she told me that 2 years ago, the day before she was due to fly to Sacramento for a conference, she fell and cracked her head hard on a stone floor, suffered concussion, flew the next day, and as a result of flying with a concussion, which apparently I didn't know, but you're not supposed to do, she's had pretty bad lesions on her brain. She's had MRIs, and she's got lesions in the brain, and she's been suffering from symptoms like severe vertigo. Some days and even weeks, she hasn't been able to not only stand, but not even get out of bed. Well, her first 30 days on the Omega, she only had 2 very mild episodes. And she said she's convinced the only difference is the Omega. And of course, we know how important they are for brain health. If we've listened to Dr. Bill Sears, we have no doubt how important omega-3s and others are for brain health.
How long did she have it before she saw the results?
I'm sorry?
How long did she take it?
The first 30 days of taking the Omega, because, we NMDs have had them for about 6. So first 30 days, and she was there at conference, she looked great, she felt great, she said, I'm convinced this stuff absolutely works. Now, we're not going to prescribe it for people with concussion, but by golly, isn't that good?
Yeah.
Laurie, how have your folks responded to you with the Omega?
Very positively. Yes, Paula, I will catch you. That's not in question. There's just a few pending. I'm going to get the credit card.
I have no doubt.
but no, it's been very positive. I think partially because omegas are, people are just familiar with them anyway, and it's, if they're already taking one, I think they're, and then on top of it being a Juice Plus customer, I think it just makes sense to take something plant-based, and they're eager and willing to try it, even without the science, you know. But I'm like you, I like the science and the research behind it, in general. But I'm excited. I think that will help me with the customers I already have, but I think it'll open the door maybe to some new customers that maybe aren't necessarily, don't think they're interested in the Juice Plus, but I might get them in the door through the Omega.
In one of my Voxer groups this morning, a pharmacist made this comment, which I thought was really interesting. She said, in recent years, fewer and fewer doctors are recommending vitamins. And as many as those doctors do recommend Juice Plus, more and more doctors are recommending Juice Plus, whether they sell it, whether they make any money off it or not, there will still be a lot of doctors who simply won't, just because they're too cautious. But she said virtually every doctor recommends that we take an omega supplement.
That's good. Interesting. That's great.
Do you know they have Albert on double because he has trouble with his cholesterol, and so they have him on double the omegas to combat the cholesterol.
Interesting.
So I'm real curious.
Highlights from Anaheim, something completely different.
Well, I think the thing that I got most excited about, although I was excited about lots of things, but I was really, really excited about the Australian new NMDs, and the whole group of them. I can't even point to one more than another necessarily, but they stuck out as a group of young, incredibly articulate group of people that have used this business to grow in an incredible way personally, and recognize that Juice Plus was the vehicle to do that, and recognize that they're not the same people at each level as they were before, that they keep making these leaps, they keep making these changes, they keep working on themselves, they keep digging deep when things get hard, and they make it. And I thought it was incredible. I can't wait to sort of hear their speeches again when we get them out, and just really, because there were such great trainings in and of themselves. It's really excited me about helping my team as they get stuck or you know, a little bit disheartened sometimes about getting to the next level, that we start working on the piece that is missing in them that could help to, you know, catapult them forward. And yeah, I thought it was awesome. And of course it dovetailed with the whole KJ, Karen Jones's a new personal development program. I mean, it couldn't have fit more neatly together.
Especially when one of those new NMDs, young girl NMD, said, vulnerability is my greatest strength.
Mm-hmm.
And that is Brene Brown's philosophy. That's her message. We have to embrace vulnerability because it's not a weakness, it's a strength.
And it was again, that was a thread in that whole group. They were very vulnerable up there. They were very honest, heartfelt about what they were talking about and how they felt about their own journey. And yeah, I just thought it was awesome. So many of them came over and shared their stories. And what was interesting as well was it was often one NMD sponsoring two or three others, and then the new one sponsoring one. So the duplication that you could see in those lines was amazing too.
It was. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before. Two of them in particular, Melanie Brandt, who was the heavily tattooed girl, young,
yeah,
who said she was abused as a child.
Yes.
I have never heard a room at conference, in this case, between 7,000 and 8,000 people, where you could hear a pin drop. It was extraordinary. We were just riveted.
Absolutely.
And then Lorian, the guy, one of the two Australian men, he was a homeless teenager. He was on the streets, homeless as a teenager. So,
And
gosh,
when we talk about this business bringing hope to people, those are amazing examples of people who didn't have too much hope at one point. And in fact, the girl that you're referring to with the tattoos, her upline had an extremely similar story. She, you know, she hadn't been abused necessarily, but she also had, you know, she was had no hope in her life at that moment. And then Juice Plus came along. And you know, and they stressed, be looking for people who are looking for change, who are looking to make a change, who want to change some things in their lives, rather than the people who are totally satisfied with where they're at, or expressing. They may not really be, but if they're expressing that they're satisfied, they're probably not the right people to approach with Juice Plus. But those people who are searching for something, it could be searching for their health, or searching for some more purpose, or searching for some, you know, to change their life in terms of what financial can change their life. Those are the people.
Rachel, you were looking for change.
I was.
We were looking for change.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Catch the people just at that moment, and take the time with them to really show them what this can be. Sorry, that's my computer. I can't do anything about it. But I could mute.
Alice Cromwell's on. Hey, superstar, new sales coordinator with 2 HL peers. Alice, do you want to give us your takeaways?
Hello.
Hello, Alice.
Well, my biggest takeaway, because I have never believed in myself, thinking, oh, people don't want to hear it, or I'm scared, fearful. And I'm finally getting it, that I am enough, and I can, and my people that I love are enough, and I should want to share with them. And if they say no, that's okay. And so I'm finally, I think, getting past that. Because I want to change their lives too. I want the best for them. And so I'm finally getting there. Right, Rachel? So that over and over, it was about personal development. And of course, it's been said how this company's disguised as really for personal development, not really a business. And just for helping people.
Alice, you have done so amazingly well over these last couple of months as you set your goal. You wanted to be a sales coordinator in Anaheim. You'd heard about the Omegas were only available to sales coordinators. You said you were going to do it. You only actually needed 1 DD. You got 2, and you stuck with them. And I've seen incredible growth in you, Alice. And just in the same way as, you know, we say we have to make some changes to get to that next promotion. Sales coordinator was a big leap for you, and we're just so proud of you on the team. It's wonderful to see it. It's great to hear you just articulate what you just did right now. Fantastic.
Thanks, Rachel. You know, my 2 new DDs, they are incredible people, and they want to share and love Juice Plus and know what difference it's made, and they're very caring. And so I'm excited for them, and that's what it's all about, is being excited for everyone around us.
That's fabulous, Alice. If I can recommend that you, if you don't have it already, get Brene Brown's book, Daring Greatly.
Nicholas gave it to me last Mother's Day.
Yeah. Oh, did you read it?
I have. It's great.
Because when you said I'm enough, that's the core of her program. And what was extraordinary, because you were there at the prayer breakfast.
Oh, it was wonderful.
When Nicole Eunice, her book is called Brave Enough. And it was the same message. And that's no coincidence.
Not a coincidence at all. We all need that.
Fantastic.
I found it's always motivational, and there's always some great quotes, but along the lines of what Alice was talking about, to me, I relate it to this. And one of the Aussies, I think it was Anthony, said, doubt takes you out of action, and action takes you out of doubt. So when in doubt, take action. And I thought that was really good. And another theme was that the business is simple, but it's not easy. And that's so true.
Well, I've got to commend you, Laurie, because I spy on you on Facebook, and talk about take action. You're a gym rat.
I'm trying wherever I can get it, whatever opportunity, if I can, you just kind of have to find your niche. And right now that seems to be where it is. And so you keep posting really good things that you've created and so I steal them. So.
Right, but no, what I mean is you're working out like crazy. You're on a fitness kick that must be making a big difference for you.
I've lost 28 pounds doing the shred and working out.
Right, but as great as the weight loss is, I'll always say this, it's not about the weight loss. It's about how good you must feel.
But I feel good knowing it's a mental thing, I guess, as far as losing the weight.
Yep.
So they're all tied together.
Yeah, they are. Atta girl, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, somebody else. I know Jenny wants to cut us off, but this is too good. Sorry, Jenny. So we haven't heard from Marie. We haven't heard from Allison. We haven't heard from Lisa. They're determined to stay silent. Come on, Marie, go for it.
Yeah, we just walked in the door about 6 o'clock because we
just got home.
Yeah.
Wow, welcome home.
Yeah, so we made it a family vacation. So we did Disneyland on Wednesday, and then we saw family Sunday and today. So, and I had 3 kids with me. So my experience is a little bit different. I probably missed the first hour of both Friday and Saturday. But yeah, I got a lot. I love their family viewing room because it is very family friendly, and you can be there with your family and the kids, and they don't bother anybody. It was awesome that they had like kids running around that big room and nobody cared. They had rocks for the kids to find. So they just keep striving to like serve everyone.
Yeah.
And the things I kept hearing was just keep doing the small ball things, keep doing events, and having lots of conversations. The more conversations you have, like everybody would mention stuff like that. So it just seems like, you have to focus on the basics. Sometimes we want to get distracted by big things, but it's the little things that grow your business. So, but yeah, I'm glad my husband said it was like the best conference he's been to. So.
Oh.
Wow, that's a great comment from him.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And yeah, so it reminds me that Kurt Beavers said again, there isn't a problem in this business that talking to more people won't solve.
Exactly.
Lisa McCauley, now we can see you. We want to hear from you, girl.
Well, of course, I have to say this was my favorite conference because Allison came with me, and we had a blast. So I was excited for her to see it and experience it. So I'll be interested to hear her take on it. But I will say that the takeaway always is this is a business that anyone can do. You just have to put the time and the effort into it. Big takeaway, always.
Good point. Absolutely.
It's out there. It's available to everybody. It really is. If it is something that you really want to do, then it can happen. It's a different time period for everybody. That's true because life happens, but it can happen, but you just have to keep at it. So I hope a lot of you do that.
I hope you do that, Lisa McCauley.
Oh, I will. Hey, listen, I've been around 20 years. I'm going to go another 30, 40, 50.
One of the favorite new national marketing directors from Australia. She's been in the business 20 years.
Wow.
Did you hear her?
Which one was that?
I don't remember her name, but
she got a standing ovation when she was announced, and when she said, this has been a 20-year journey for me to get to National Marketing Director.
Oh, wow.
Wild. It was so impressed.
Well, I'll be up there. Oh, the other one that I wanted to say was my most but of course, the most impressive speech to me for NMD was the mother whose son was the second lieutenant in the Air Force. I am telling you, it brought me to tears. Of course, some of that is because I was in the Air Force, but, you know, and I'm a military person. So, but that was amazing. I mean, I just think that was so wonderful that he came, and oh man, that was great. But they all brought me to tears anyway.
So for those of you who weren't there, she and her husband and her other grown kids came out on stage, and Karen Jones' first question to her was, so there's someone in your family missing? And she said, yes, my son's in the Air Force, he's a second lieutenant, and the Air Force wouldn't release him. And then Karen walks across the stage, walks off stage, comes back on with her son, and the whole place went bonkers.
Awesome.
And then we discovered that the husband, his father, is a 3-star general in the Air Force. Boom!
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. When I told Bud that story, he said that he was surprised that the mother was surprised that the son showed up, because if your father or your husband is a 3-star general, then yes, your son can be released from the Air Force. Oh, well, it was a great surprise.
All right, so Alison McCauley, you're on, but you're muted, and I don't know what you're doing, girl. And if you can't speak, then I understand, but I think you unmuted yourself. Okay.
Nope. I'm totally in the middle of making dinner. That's why. But since my mom called me out, I would say I've been going with the only reason I truly went. I mean, I grew up taking Juice Plus. I was on it since I think I was like 5 years old. And so I joined the business about a year ago, pretty much because my mom told me she wouldn't pay for my Juice Plus anymore. And so this was my first conference, and you know, I thought it would be something like I would just, my mom and I were talking about this. I was like, I didn't get like this crazy, amazing fire that you hear all these stories about. Like, I think it's a little slower process for me, but I realized that, you know, that personal growth is a huge thing. And for me, I think I need to build relationships. You know, I mean, I haven't lived in Steamboat that long. And so for me, I think building relationships is a huge thing. And so I think I can do that while I grow my Juice Plus business. And I also just started a new job at the hospital.
We kind of lost you there, Alison. You were breaking up badly, but you started a new job at the hospital. That means you're going to meet a whole bunch of new people, and that means you can make some new friends, and you can use those relationships to help build your business, yeah?
Yes.
You got it. If that's the only thing you got, if that's the only thing you got at the conference, that's huge.
Yeah, there's definitely, I would say the big thing is building relationships. Wow. You know.
Yeah, Steamboat's internet is not very fast.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, don't be sorry. Okay.
Well, I know we haven't had an opportunity to talk about the Tower Gardens at all, and I know that that is one of the things that's very dear to Sue Parker's heart. But one of the things that always impresses me at conferences is the incredible display of towers that they bring in. I don't know about you, but our towers never quite look the same as the ones they show at conference. But, you know, it's incredible. Coming home, we've gone a week, And our towers had been planted, what, about 3 weeks before we left? Less than that, I think, 2.5 weeks. And the growth on our towers when we got home was incredible. I've been nibbling lettuce leaves all day long. Don't tell Mick. I'm not pinching them off your tower, I'm taking them off mine.
I'll lock mine away.
Yeah, and then of course, Marie, we saw a wonderful video, a short video of your mom, Juanita, with Stephen Ritz. That was really special. Loved it.
Roque was there too. He had some thoughts he wanted to share. If we have time.
Sure.
A couple of people already mentioned this. The folks that like, for example, the new NMD from Australia who said it took her 20 years to get to this point. And other folks who said that they said no for 3 to 5 years, however long the process was. I mean, I found that inspiring, but what I found more inspiring than that is the tenacity of the person that kept asking them and didn't give up. And I'll be frank with you, that's something that I know that I lack personally. We have our own we have our own struggles where we're dealing with our adult children. We joke sometimes that I wish that our children didn't have agency, because we could take agency from them and they would do everything we tell them to do. We have a grandbaby on the way and a daughter-in-law who's very, very stubborn. And we have another daughter who's on anxiety medication who is equally stubborn, and a daughter-in-law who, because she has a bachelor's degree after her name, she thinks she knows everything. So we have adults in our family who, God bless them, but I just know that we just need to stay after it. I know that it took me a while to come around. Like I think I mentioned many weeks ago when we first met, I was introduced to Juice Plus 7 years ago, and I didn't want to take the product because I thought I just didn't want to, and we both gave up on it. And so again, I applaud the people who didn't give up on those that they care about, because they truly care about them. And these are my children and my children-in-law, and I'm not going to give up on them because I love them, but I'm certainly not going to give up on wanting them to be healthy and to be, hopefully at some point, wiser. I keep saying the benefits of growing older, or hopefully we're growing wiser. So
I think the traditional bell curve applies more to family members than anywhere else.
I appreciated that presentation, the whole discussion of the bell curve. And I thought about that. I said, yeah, we fall in there somewhere. So that's good.
But the bell curve, the beginning of the bell curve is always the early adopter, and then the end of the bell curve is the late adopter. And it seems as though almost every family member that we know is at that end of the bell curve. They're a late adopter. And so we've got to be more patient with them than we have with anybody else.
But I also appreciate, I recognize that we need to be patient with ourselves.
Oh.
I mean, somebody said it a few minutes ago. They said, this is about personal growth, emphasis on the word personal. I told my wife when we left yesterday, I said, I can do one of two things. I can be inspired by what was said throughout the weekend, or I can get myself down and say, I'm never going to be like these people, and I shouldn't even try. And I know better than to go the latter, but I also find myself somewhere hovering in the middle. And I need to be patient with myself and say, this is a personal development journey. It's a personal thing for me. I'm not going to grow as fast as my wife. I'm not going to grow as fast as Sandy. I'm not going to grow as fast as anybody else. I have to accept my limitations, but I also need to work on them. And by knowing what my limitations are, I can recognize them, I can deal with them, I can develop myself, and in turn, hopefully inspire somebody else to develop what they need to. And that's what I've chosen to get from this, is I'm not going to be, I think during one of the early presentations on Saturday, when there was the segue into the personal development program, there was the comment that this is not a get rich quick program. This is, and I said, great, I appreciate that. I'm working with a prospect now who finally admitted to me today, said, I don't want anything to do with a network marketing company that's not tech related. I'm like, well, good for you, so, and I didn't feel like arguing with him about it, because I knew that we were just going to bash about it. So I figured I'd give him a space and we would just move on, and we'll talk to him at some other point. But he wants the quick money. So anyway, that was my takeaway. So thank you for letting me share.
That's very well said. Thank you.
Very well said, Rocky. Absolutely. All right,
Okay,
Julie.
we are going to have to draw this to a close. You want me to finish it up? Well, you know, what comes to my mind, you may have heard this before, it's something that I picked up at the Las Vegas boot camp in January this year, which is to say that trying to describe the experience of going to a conference like this is similar to trying to describe to somebody the most beautiful sunset that you've ever seen. It's almost impossible to do that. You just have to experience it yourself. And I think those of you who were at conference would absolutely agree with that. You just had to be there to soak this all in, to appreciate just what it had to offer and what we could all get out of it. So anyway, thank you so much, not only for being there, for making the sacrifice, both out of time and finances in order to join us in Anaheim, but also for joining us this evening on this call. I'm sorry we went on a little long, but there was an awful lot to talk about. So thanks, Ben, and we wish you all good night.
Good night. God bless everybody.